I don't know if you're Liz, if you didn't hear me, grab your theraband. We're going to use it this morning, and we're going to start in a seated position. So take your time, grab your gear, and then just get comfortable in your seat. And just have your theraband kind of nearby, but a little off to the side so that it's a little out of your way, but handy when we need it. Awesome. And then just get comfortable in your seat. Take a second, do all those little wiggles so that everything feels good, happy, and comfortable. And then when you feel ready, close your eyes down. And take a moment here just to settle in. Let your mind slow down. Let your body slow down. And as you feel like your body is settling in, your mind is starting to slow down a little bit, can you start to just tune into your breath? Just watching the natural rhythm of your breath. So it doesn't need to be forced or changed, but just notice your inhale and notice your exhale. And then as you start to notice the breath, can you notice the physical action of your breath within your body? So maybe you'll notice the movement in your ribs, your belly, your shoulders, whatever the case may be, but see if you can just tune in and notice the physical movement of breath in your body. Take one or two more breaths here, just noticing that physical action within you. And then before we move away from this place of stillness, just take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Great. And then with that intention set, we're just going to flip the palms. So palms are going to be open facing the ceiling, and the hands can rest comfortably in the backs on your thighs. And as you inhale, you're just going to pull index finger to touch the thumb, give a little squeeze, and then exhale, release your fingers out, but stretch them nice and wide. And then on your inhale, bring the middle finger to meet the thumb, put a little press, and then open your fingers out wide, stretch through your fingers. Bring your ring finger and thumb to touch, give a little press, reach the fingers out and stretch. Pinky finger and thumb to meet, put a little press, and then reach the fingers out, give a little stretch. Nice. And then as you inhale, you're just going to pull the fingertips up, and then exhale, push the fingertips away. Inhale and pull the fingertips up, almost feel a little squeeze in the forearm, and then push the fingertips away. Inhale, pull the fingertips up, and then push the fingertips away. And now we're going to take it into the elbow joint. So as you inhale, you're going to pull the fingertips up to touch your shoulders. Exhale and reach your hands back down to your knees. Inhale and pull your fingertips up to your shoulders. Exhale, hands back down to knees. Inhale, pull the fingertips up to the shoulders. Exhale, hands back down to the knees. Let your hands rest comfortably. You can flip the palms back down. As you inhale, just let your shoulders lift up to your ears. And exhale, soften your shoulders down. Inhale to let your shoulders lift. Exhale to soften down. One more just like that. Inhale, shoulders lift. And exhale, shoulders soften down. Nice. And then let your hands come out at your sides as you inhale. Arms are going to reach up just as far as you like. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center, and then hands come back down and touch the ground. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands come down to the ground. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down to the ground. And now we're going to take our fingertips, float them up to the shoulders, and then start to draw some circles. Circle in one direction and keep it small to start, and then slowly start to increase your range of motion. So go just as far as feels comfortable, and then tune in. Notice how your shoulders are feeling. Notice if there's any little crunchy places that need a little bit of extra delicate care. Take the time with those places if you find them. And then once you feel like you've created a little bit of warmth or fluidity in the shoulders, then start to make the big circles, circling so that your elbows find the way to meet in front of your body. Nice. Take one more circle around in this direction, and then arms come back out, and then start to reverse your circles. Start small. Take the time to tune in and notice. Notice if there's any little crunchy places or places that feel a little tender. Smooth out those places first, and then when it feels good to do so, increase the range of motion and make those circles bigger. Nice. Take one more big circle around, and then let your left hand touch the ground. Right hand's going to reach up. Take a nice big side bend. Beautiful. Release that right hand down. Left hand reaches up. Side bend the other way. Awesome. Lift it back up nice and slow. Roll your shoulders down and back, then slide your hands behind you. Nice tall fingers. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Notice the front of your body. Notice the collarbones in the front of your chest. Take a nice deep breath here. One more breath. And then release. Hands are going to catch hold of the knees and into a seated cat-cow here. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale to round your back, round your shoulders, look toward your belly button. Inhale to lift your heart. Exhale to round your back. One more just like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Awesome. And then find a neutral spine and take it into your easy seated forward fold. Walk yourself out just as far as feels good. It does not have to be extreme, just a little hip hinge, and then we lean ourselves forward. Once you find your way there into the depth that feels good to you, take a moment to notice. Notice how your knees feel about this. Notice how your hips feel. Notice your low back. And then staying nice and low in the easy seated forward fold, we're going to walk our hands over to the left. And then just find that little reach through the right fingertips. Maybe finding a little side stretch through the right side, noticing your right ribs. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Awesome. And then walk through center and then over to the other side. Reaching long through the left fingertips, noticing the left side body. Nice. And then walk it back through center. We're going to press into the fingertips, pull the abdominal muscles in, drag your fingers along the floor as you pull the ribs back, come up nice and strong, and then lean back into your sits bones, switch the cross in your legs. Take a second to get everything situated. And then once it's feeling good, left hand down, right hand reaches up. Take a side bend. Beautiful. Lift it up and take it over to the other side. Right hand touches down, left hand reaches up. Awesome. Lift it all back up and right back to your easy seated forward fold. Walk yourself out just as far as feels good. Take the time here to notice again. Notice your knees, notice your hips, notice your low back. And then just notice there might be a slight and subtle variation from this side compared to the other side. Cool. And then when you're ready, we're going to walk it over to the right. Reaching through the left fingertips, noticing the left side body. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then walk it through center and over to the other side. Nice. And then walk it back through center, press into the fingertips, pull your abdominal muscles in, pull the ribs back as you drag the fingers, strong abdominal center, and then just take a couple little good shrugs of the shoulders. And then if you've got it available, grab your theraband. We're going to take the theraband, palms are going to face up, and we're going to hold onto the theraband nice and close together. So hands are going to come into that nice close configuration, and then pull your elbows back towards your ribs. Keep your elbows anchored into your ribs, and then pull the theraband apart. We're going to work with just the left hand. So left hand's going to come in and then pull out, come in and pull out, come in and pull out. Nice. Do 3 more on that side, just bringing it in, finding a tiny, tiny bit of rotation just out of the shoulder. Beautiful. And then keep that hand stationary. Do it to the other side. So the arm comes in slightly and pulls out. So we're finding the action in the shoulder, but we're also working the grip really hard here. Take a few more in and out on that side. Nice. And then pull them both equally apart. Elbows are in at the ribs. And then like you're presenting a plate, you're just going to reach your hands out, but keep that nice even distance between the theraband. Keep that even distance as you pull the elbows back towards the ribs. Reach the hands out, keeping that even distance, noticing the work in the shoulders. Pull the elbows back with control. Beautiful. One more just like that. Reach your hands out. And then pull the hands back in. Nice. And then let that go. Wriggle out your shoulders, move your theraband off to the side, find your way into a tabletop position. As you come into your tabletop position, if you feel like your knees need a little extra padding, take the time to double stack your mat, do all those little care things for yourself. And then once you feel like you're in a good tabletop position, we're going to find some really terrible posture. So slump into the shoulders. Notice that place where you may have just found some work when you were using your TheraBand. Just really let your shoulders slump, let your belly sag, let your butt be up in the air. Toes are soft, hands are soft, even soften the back of your neck. And then start at your hands. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Index fingers point to the top of the mat. Push away from the floor. Let your front body come up nice and strong. Broaden your shoulders. Lengthen your neck. Gaze down between your thumbs. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. Right leg's going to slide back, toes curled under. Rock yourself forward and back. Notice your right knee. Notice the back of your right knee. Notice your heel. Notice your foot. Beautiful. And then the next time you press back into that heel, stay there for an extra breath. Nice. Now bring your shoulders in line with your wrist. Keep that leg out nice and long. Lift it away from the floor and then lower the toes back down to the ground. Keep that leg nice and long. Lift your toe away from the floor and then lower it back down, keeping everything else as stable as you can. Lift that leg up and lower it down. And this time we're going to lift up, hold, and find spinal balance. So with that leg lifted up, opposite hand is going to reach out. Gaze is down at the floor. Nice long spine. Nice steady breath. Beautiful. Release it down with control and we'll take it to the other side. Left leg is going to slide back, toes curled under. Rock yourself forward and back. Notice the back of your leg. Notice your knee, the back of your knee at your heel. Beautiful. And the next time you press back into that heel, stay there for an extra breath. Nice. And then bring your shoulders back in line with the wrist. Leg is going to stay long. We're going to lift the toe up away from the floor. Lower it back down with control. Lift the toe up. Lower it back down. Lift your toe up. Lower it back down. This time we're going to lift it up and hold. Firm up your center. Extend your right arm out. Gaze is down at the floor. Nice steady breath here. Awesome. Release it down with control. Both toes curled under. Rock yourself forward and back. Just take a few times forward and back. Stretch through the toes and the bottoms of the feet. Cool. And then from here, we're going to sit back on our heels, but we want to take our theraband width. So it's up at the front of your mat. Just kind of scooch it back with you and then sit back on your heels, sit up nice and tall, grab your theraband. We're going to take a super wide grip of the theraband. Palms are going to be facing backwards. And we're just going to start to rainbow the arms up and overhead. If at any point the toes curled under becomes too intense, release your toes. So we're just going to rainbow the arms up and overhead. Big wide grip here, moving safely in that range of motion that works best for you, and let the theraband stretch with you. So you don't have to be extreme in that movement, and make sure there's nothing yanking or pulling. It should feel like a nice, good, generous movement of the shoulders. Beautiful. Take one more time, forward and back. And then release your theraband off to the side, float your way back into a tabletop position, release your toes, maybe give them a little wiggle. And then we're going to take it into our puppy pose from here. So walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat, let your chest and your forehead sink down, widen your hands just as much as feels good. So there's plenty of space for your shoulders to settle into. And then notice your breath here. Nice deep inhale, nice slow exhale. Take one more breath here. Great. And then from here, we're going to walk it in just a little bit so that the elbows and forearms can come down onto the ground, setting ourselves up to come into a low plank. So elbows in line with the shoulders, hands in a parallel position, fingers spread nice and wide. Start to step your feet to the back edge of your mat, finding a plank. So once you feel like you've got your way there, make sure your butt stays nice and low, nice broadness in the shoulders. Maybe gaze down at the floor, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then rock your plank forward and back. So just a little saw here. Leaning forward and then pushing back into the heels. Beautiful. One more rock forward and back. And then as you come back to that neutral place, release your knees down right into Sphinx pose. So we're going to release the toes. Hip bones are going to press into the earth. Think about drawing your elbows back energetically towards your ribs, lifting your heart, pressing up through the crown of the head. Shoulder blades are squeezing together. Notice your low back. If there's too much compression in the low back, you want to think about drawing your tailbone down and creating some space there. But if it's all feeling good, hang out for an extra breath or two, just noticing that opening and stretch through the front of your body, that light compression in the spine and the back side of the body. Take one more breath. Cool. And then we're going to lower onto our belly. So walk your elbows nice and wide. Take a second to soften your low back, shake out your butt. And we're going to take our hands and tuck them right under those bony hip protrusions. And then we're going to come into half locust here. So we're going to start by just kind of shaking the heels. We want to encourage the thigh bone loosening up in the hip socket. So we want to let there be a little bit of looseness in your butt, a little looseness in your thigh muscle. Chin to the ground or forehead to the ground, that'll be totally up to you. And then once you feel like you've got that all loosened up a little bit, let it relax. Pull the right toes away from you. Pull them so far to the end of your mat that you start to lift as you lengthen up. Lengthen all the way up so this leg lifts up to the sky. And then pull the toes away from you as you release that leg back down with control. And then once it touches down, shake out your heels. Great. And then we're going to take it to the other side. Pull the left toes away from you. Pull them so far back that they lift up, and then lengthen as you lift. Beautiful. And then lengthen as you lower back down. And then once they're down, give them a little shake. Cool. Now from here, we're going to walk the hands in a little bit closer, and we're going to create a little bit of a basket weave. So we're going to walk our hands in so that we can basket weave the hands right under the center of our hips. So we want to find that front center pubic bone, and then we're going to tuck our hands under there. It's going to give us a little protection. And then we're going to point the toes, lift the toes, both toes up and away from the ground. Hands are going to create just a little bit of cushion. It might feel a little awkward and uncomfortable, so we're not going to stay there too long. Take one more breath. And then slowly and mindfully release your feet down. Lift your hips up so you can release your hands. Bring your hands alongside your shoulders. 3 low cobras here. Inhale to gently lift your heart. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale and lift. Exhale to lower down. Nice. Push your way up into a tabletop position and then right to your favorite version of child's pose. Knees together or knees out wide. That's totally up to you. Pull your butt back to your heels. Let your belly and chest soften down. Any little configuration of the arms that feels good to you and allows everything to find a little softness. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly start to lift yourself back up into a tabletop position. Knees are gonna walk in if they were out wide. We're gonna step the right foot forward into a 90-90 lunge configuration. So if you can, step it right up to meet your hand and then lift yourself up so you find that nice 90-90 lunge. Make sure your feet feel good and anchored on the ground. We're gonna inhale, raise the arms up. As you exhale, cactus the arms, open your chest, look to the sky. Inhale to reach your arms up, and now we're gonna twist to the right. Exhale, open your arms out to the right. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, open out to the left. Inhale, raise your arms up. And we're going to repeat that again. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest, look to the sky. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach up. One more time through. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest, look to the sky. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, up to center. And then float your hands back down to the ground, stepping your right foot back into tabletop position. Pop your hips a little bit side to side. And then we're going to do all of that to the other side. So left foot is going to step forward right to the outside of your left pinky finger. Nice. Lift yourself up. Find your stability first. Once you feel like you've got it, inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest. Inhale and reach up. Exhale and twist to the left. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, cactus, open your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, arms up. Beautiful. Float your hands down to the ground. Step that left foot back into your tabletop position. Pop your hips a little bit side to side just to kind of soothe all that out. And then the next time your hips come back to center, move right into a cat-cow breath. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round. Nice. One more cycle of breath here. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale to round. Beautiful. Find a neutral spine, curl your toes under, pull your butt back to your heels, stretch through the bottoms of the feet. And then we're going to pull the knees up away from the floor and start to lift into downward facing dog and start to pedal out the legs. Bend one knee and press into the opposite heel. When you feel ready, start to think about walking towards the top of your mat. Look forward, soften your knees, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice little ragdoll fold here. So feet about hip or shoulder width distance apart, make some space for yourself, and then let everything dangle here. Let your head be nice and heavy, arms nice and heavy. And then see if you can just tune back into your breath here, noticing that buoyancy, that physical movement that happens with your inhale, and that softening and the physical movement that happens with your exhale. Staying nice and low, we're going to walk the fingers over towards the right side of the mat. So your left hand is going to be reaching across, finding that right side of the mat. So notice the left side of your body. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then walk through center over to the other side, reaching across with the right hand. Notice your right side body. Take a nice big breath. Nice. And then bring it back to center. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Take your time as you come on up. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. And then give a second here just to get everything situated, and then find your mountain pose at the top of your mat. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward, a nice lift from the soles of the feet, a lift up through the top of your head. Shoulders are down away from your ears, and a little life into your fingertips. Once you found your mountain pose, pause for a moment, take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. Inhale, raise your arms up and look up. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands through heart center. This time, interlace your fingers, flip the palms, press them forward, soften your shoulders into a nice snuggly place, and then press the arms up and overhead. Take a side bend one way. Come back through center, take a side bend the other way. Come back through center, unlace your fingers, float your arms down, roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, interlace your fingers the weird way or the opposite way of the cross of your fingers. Press your palms forward, make some space for your shoulder blades. Once you're there, press the palms up and overhead. Take a side bend one way. Come back to center, side bend the other way. Come back to center. Unlace your fingers, float your hands down, roll your shoulders down and back. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. We're going to walk our hands up to the tops of the thighs, bend your knees, sit into a little chair here. Think about drawing the tailbone down, pull the abdominal muscles in. And then once you feel like you've got nice, good stability in your legs, reach your arms straight out to shoulder height, palms facing in towards each other. Gaze is slightly up. Feel that nice strength in your legs. Take one or two more breaths here. Beautiful. When you're ready, press firm into your feet. Lift your arms up and overhead. A little gentle back bend here. Lift your chest, lift your gaze. Hips come forward slightly. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Find your way back to your mountain pose. So soften your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold down. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. We're going to step both feet back to downward facing dog. Nice. Take a pedal or two of the legs here just to feel that length through the backs of your legs and through the back chain of your body. Awesome. And then pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into a tabletop position, right into gate pose. Step your right leg out to the side, hands to your hips, come to a tall kneel position. Right hand on the thigh, left hand reaches up, take a side bend in towards that extended leg. Beautiful. And then float that left hand down to the ground. We're going to come into supported half moon. So hand is going to post underneath your shoulders. Right leg is going to lift up. Right arm is going to extend up, look to the sky, take a nice big breath. Cool, and then soften that leg down, spin your hands around, come back into a tabletop position, and we'll take our gait to the other side. Left leg is gonna step out nice and wide. Hands to your hips, come to that tall kneel position. Left hand extends out, right hand reaches up, take a side bend. Beautiful, and then float that right hand down to the ground. Left leg is gonna lift up, take it into that supported half moon. Left hand reaches up, look to the sky, take a nice big breath. Awesome. Spin your hands around as you come back into that tabletop position. Pop your hips a little bit side to side. We're going to come back to a child's pose or extended child's pose, whichever version you like best, just to take that little halfway pause. So send your butt back to your heels, soften everything down. Take a few moments here just to come back to your breath. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully start to lift yourself back up into a tabletop position. Take a little mental note, where's your theraband at? And if you can, send it up towards the top of your mat. We're gonna curl the toes under, lift up into downward facing dog, and then look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. As it is 7:30, if you've got to get on with the rest of your day, I hope that it's amazing. But if you're sticking around, find that mountain pose, nice and strong and stable at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up and look up. Hands are going to meet, a little lift of the chest as you look up. And then exhale, fold your hands right down the center line, touch your fingertips to the floor. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. We're going to step both feet back to down dog. Take one good breath there. And then release your knees down to the ground. Step your right foot forward into your 90-90 lunge. Step that right foot up, right alongside your right hand. Inhale, lift your hands up. Beautiful. Exhale, cactus your arms, look to the sky. Inhale and reach up. Exhale and twist to the right. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale and reach up. Beautiful. And now from here, right hand finds your hip, left hand stays up. We're going to lean over to the right. Take a nice side bend here. Beautiful. One more breath. Lift back up, float your hands down to the ground. We're going to curl the back toes under and then walk that right knee back into a nice high lunge. So we're going to lift the knee up, stretching the leg long, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Beautiful. And then step that front foot back to plank. Nice. Lower your knees, lower with control onto your belly. Inhale up to a cobra. Exhale up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, grab your theraband. Inhale and lift all the way up to a standing position. Hands to heart center. And then take your theraband, bring it behind you, palms facing backwards. We're going to find a nice bit of room to move our shoulders. So find a little pump of the arms just to make sure it feels like a good comfortable grip, a good handhold on your theraband, and a nice little bit of range of motion here. Once you feel like you've got yourself in a good position, bend your knees, fold yourself over, let your arms fall away from the back side of your body just as far to go. Take one more breath. Lower your hands towards your low back, bend your knees, lift from the top of your head, come up nice and slow. Release your theraband, just set it down on the ground, and then come back into your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, hands meet, chest lifts as you look up. Exhale, hands come right down the center line, fingertips touch the floor. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to down dog. Lower your knees through tabletop position, left foot steps forward, and we find that 90-90 lunge. When you feel ready, lift your arms up. Beautiful. Inhale as you lift and look up. Exhale and twist to the left. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale and reach up. Left hand's going to find the hip. Right hand's going to lean over. So we're going to find that side bend the other way. Nice. One more breath. Beautiful. Lift up, float your hands back down to the ground. Walk that right foot back. So we find that nice tall lunge, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Beautiful. And then step that front foot back into plank position. Nice. Bring your knees down, lower with control onto your belly. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to your forward fold position. Grab hold of your theraband. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands come behind you. And we take that theraband again, finding that nice wide grip, so we have plenty of space to move the arms away from the back of the body. Once you feel like you've got that grip, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over, let the arms fall away from the back side of your body. One more breath. Let your hands come to your low back, bend your knees, lift from the top of your head, come up nice and slow. We're gonna take that theraband into your right hand, reaching up and overhead, dropping the theraband back down behind you. Left hand is gonna find the other end of the theraband, and then you're gonna walk your hands together just as close as you can comfortably get them. Once you've found a good comfortable position, we're gonna keep the bottom hand nice and stable. Top hand's gonna reach up, so we find a little work in the tricep, and then bend it back down. Top hand is gonna reach up and lower down. Top hand reaches up and lower down. Now keep the top hand steady and stable. Bottom hand is gonna pull down and then rise back up, pull down, come back up, pull down, and come back up. And then like you're taking a little towel to dry your back, you're gonna kind of floss. You're gonna lift up and lower down. Take a couple times up and down. And then bring it all back in. Walk your hands just as close as you can get them. We're going to take this into a fold from here. So keeping the arms in the position that they're in, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over. Let that top elbow drop towards the ground. Straighten your legs just as much as you like. Take one good breath. Awesome. And then bend your knees, lift from the top of your head, come up nice and slow. Release your grip from the TheraBand, give your shoulders a little shrug. But of course, we've got to do all of that to the other side. So bring the TheraBand into your left hand, drop it down behind you. Right hand's going to palm face out, find the other end of the TheraBand. Once you've got a good, comfortable grip, everything's nice and close. Bottom hand is going to stay nice and stationary. Top hand's going to reach up and then come back down. Reach up and come back down. One more just like that. Reach up and come back down. And now the top hand is going to stay stationary. Bottom hand is going to reach down and come back up. Reach down and come back up. Reach down and come back up. Nice. And then both hands together. So we're going to do that little towel maneuver like we're drying our back. So we're just flossing up and down. Beautiful. One more little floss up and down. And then walk your hands together just as close as you can get them. And then once you feel like you're in that closest position that feels right, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over. Let that top elbow reach towards the ground. Straighten your legs just as much as you like. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then soften your knees. Lift from the top of your head. Come up nice and slow. Release your TheraBand, set it down and off to the side somewhere you'll be able to find it when we come down to the ground. Come back into your mountain pose here. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold everything down. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to down dog. Right leg is going to come up nice and high, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, let your hip roll open. Beautiful. And then step your right foot up to the top right corner of your mat, to the outside of your pinky finger. So nice wide lunge here. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath. And then left hand's going to stay down. Right hand's going to reach up for a little twist. Beautiful. Right hand comes down. We're going to step that front foot back to plank and then find our way into an upward facing dog. So you can keep the toes curled under. Hips are going to lower, but they're going to stay off of the ground. Heart lifts. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, gaze forward, take a nice big breath. Cool, and then take it back up to your downward facing dog. Left leg is going to come up nice and high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Awesome, and then step your left foot up to the top left corner of your mat, finding that wide lunge to the other side. Beautiful, right hand stays down, left hand reaches up. Left hand back down to the ground, stepping that left foot back into a plank position, and then into that version of upward facing dog. So we shoot the heart forward, keep the toes curled under, hips lower down, but stay off of the ground. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open through the chest. One more breath. Beautiful. And then take it back up to your downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. We're going to start to find our way into Malasana. So once you come up to the top of your mat, you're going to step your feet out nice and wide, toes finding the outer edges of your mat, and then start to find this little generous rock side to side. Just tuning in. Notice how your knees are feeling. Notice how your hips are feeling, and then start to sink your butt nice and low as you come on down. Let your butt go as low as it likes. And then for a second here, we're going to find our elbows touching the inner thighs, and then you're going to try and pull your inner thighs away from your elbows. So rather than pushing your elbows into your inner thighs, find strength in this position. So elbows touch the inner thighs and then pull the inner thighs away. Keep the legs nice and active here. Get a little taller. Take one more breath, inner thighs pulling away from the elbows. Beautiful. And then soften that all up. Set your butt down onto the ground. Come into your butterfly or cobbler's pose. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. Nice. And then we're just going to lean it forward. So just take it as far as you like. And then find a little softness in the upper back body. Soften your shoulders. Soften the back of your neck. Take one more breath. Great. And then lift up through the top of your head. Let your heart follow. We're going to keep our legs in that configuration if we can. Come back down onto your elbows and forearms. Give a second. Wiggle out your tail. Make sure everything feels like it's nice. And then lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Once you found your way down, give a second to get everything situated. Make sure your clothes feel good. Legs feel good. Tailbone feels good. Soles of the feet are finding each other. We're going to reach up straight from the chest. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, pull your abdominal muscles down, curl up the head, neck, and chest. Reach through the fingertips. Inhale to lower back down. Exhale and curl up. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to lower down. We're going to exhale and curl up, stay here, and then find this little pulsing action, like you're reaching for something across the room. And we're going to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Keep your legs in that butterfly position. Soles of the feet together. We're going to bring the elbows in alongside the ribs. Fingers are going to point up towards the ceiling. So we're leveraging against our elbows. Inhale and lift your hips up nice and high. Exhale to lower back down. Inhale to lift your hips up. Exhale to lower down. One more just like that. Inhale to lift your hips up. Exhale to lower down. Reach down and catch the outsides of your thighs. Help your knees come together. Pull them up into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze and a gentle rock side to side. Cool. And then from here, we're going to grab our theraband. We're going to hold on to the bottom of the right foot and let your left foot find the ground. Let your left knee be in a bent knee position. So we have a little bit of solidness and anchored into that left leg. We're going to choke up on the theraband, get a nice firm grip, pull your elbows down towards the ground, and then you're going to push your heel down towards the earth and then pull the leg back up. Push your heel down towards the ground, pull the leg back up. One more just like that. Push your knee down, push your heel down towards the ground, pull the leg back up. Nice. And then take hold of your theraband, both ends of your strap into your right hand. So same hand, same foot. You're going to bring it slightly across the midline of the body and then slightly out to the right. Slightly across the midline of the body, slightly out to the right. One more just like that. Slightly across the midline of your body, slightly out to the right. Awesome. And then bring it back to center. You're going to slide your left leg nice and long now. And then take that right leg out to the right just as far as you like. Take it as far and as wide as feels good to you. A little external rotation might allow you to open up just a little bit more. And then see if you can just keep your left arm anchored, left shoulder anchored, gaze up towards the ceiling, take a nice big breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, we're going to give a little tug on that theraband, pull the leg back to center, switch grips, hold both ends with the left hand. And now you're bringing the leg over and across the body. You might opt to stay about 45 degrees across and just feel that little tug in the IT band, or you might opt to take it all the way across into a little bit of a twist. So just take it as far as feels good, finding sensation that feels nice in your body. Wherever you're finding the work, stay there, take a breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, bring it all back up and in. You're going to slide the left leg up into a bent knee position. Take your right leg across the left into your figure four. Remove your theraband, set it off to the side. And then with that figure four position, lift the left knee up, lower it back down. Lift the left knee up, lower it back down. Lift the left knee up, lower it back down. We're going to lift up, stay lifted, wobble your figure four a little bit side to side. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, reach your hands through, thread them through, grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, and then bring it into a depth that feels good to you. Make sure your shoulders are staying soft, finding some ease in your breath. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully release. Step your right foot off the left, pause for a moment and notice. Notice how one side feels a little different than the other. And then when you're ready, grab your theraband. We're going to pick up the left leg, catch hold of the foot, send the heel up towards the sky, choke up on that theraband as much as you can, and then pull your elbows down to the ground. Anchor into your elbows. Push your heel down towards the ground. Pull your leg back up with control. Push your heel down to the ground. Pull it back up with control. Push your heel down to the ground. Pull it back up with control. Regrab both ends of the theraband with your left hand. So same hand, same foot. We're taking it out slightly away from the body and then slightly across the midline. Stay anchored in your right foot. Out and away. And then in across the midline. Out and away. In across the midline. Bring that leg back to center, slide your right leg nice and long, and now take that left leg out to the left just as wide as it likes to go. Take one more breath. And then a little tug on the theraband, help that leg come back to center, switch grip. So you're going to hold on to tail ends with your right hand now, and now bring it across the body, over to the right, just as far as you like. So you're going to find the work here that you like the best. You might like it in your IT band, you might like it down in that gluteus medius, or you might like to take it all the way over and across into a little bit of a twist. So whichever feels the best for you, find your work. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, pull that leg back up and in, slide your right leg in, release the theraband from your foot as you take your left leg into your figure four position. Once you've got your figure four position, hands free to start, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale to lower it back down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower down. This time we're going to inhale, lift and hold, hands free. Wobble your figure four a little side to side. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, come back to center, thread your hands through. Find the grab that feels good. Back of the thigh or the top of the shin. Hug the legs into your comfort level, and then find a little ease in your breath here. Soften your shoulders, soften your belly, soften your jaw. Nice. Take one more breath here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, nice and easy, release your grab, step your left foot off the right, pause for a moment to notice. We're going to start to find our way into a fish position. So you're going to take your hands and kind of tuck them up underneath your butt. So we just kind of walk the hands, palms facing down underneath the butt, and then start to step your feet nice and long towards the end of your mat. You're going to push into your heels just a little bit to lift your chest and chin, and then walk your elbows in just as close as you can get them towards each other. Once you feel like you've got a good, stable base with your elbows and forearms, you're going to hug the shoulder blades together, point your toes, lift your chest, and let your head drop just as far back as feels comfortable. If head dropping back doesn't feel good, you can always tuck the chin into the chest, but we want to find that lift of the chest, that squeeze in the shoulder blades, that nice opening through the heart space. Take one more breath here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully come out. Walk your elbows wide, lower yourself back down with control. Step your feet in so you can lift your butt up, release your hands from underneath your butt. Hands down alongside your hips, heels come a little closer to your bum, feet hip width distance apart, into a bridge pose here. Inhale, lift your hips up nice and high. Think about reaching your knees toward your toes. Find a little length through the tops of the thighs, a little work in your glutes, a little work in the backs of the legs. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then slowly and mindfully release your way back down. We're going to go right into supine twist. Pull your right knee into your chest, send your left leg nice and long, and then take that right knee over and across the body to the left. Right arm opens out nice and wide. Turn your head to the right if that feels good, and take 3 nice deep breaths here. When you're ready, on your next inhale, pull your right knee into your chest, bring the left knee into meet, hold on to your left knee, send your right leg nice and long, supine twist right to the other side, bring that left knee over and across the body, left arm opens wide, head turns to the left if it feels good, and 3 nice deep breaths here. Nice. And then when you're ready, pull that left knee into your chest, pull the right knee into meet. So both knees into the chest, give yourself a gentle rock side to side. Maybe draw your knees in a couple of circles, go in one direction. And then maybe draw your knees in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then if it feels good, finish with the little legs up the wall. Send your heels upward towards the ceiling. And then just invite some softness in. Let your tailbone be soft and heavy into the ground, a little softness in your knees, a little softness in your ankles, a little softness in your toes. And just let gravity do a little work for you here. Take a nice big inhale. See if you can notice the physical action of your breath in your body. And then notice that change of physical action as you exhale. Take one more breath here. And then mindfully start to float your feet back down to the ground. Notice the movements between the movements. Notice the movement of your knees. Notice the movement of your hip flexors. Notice your feet touching the ground. And then ask your body, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to come into constructive rest, recline cobbler's pose, traditional Shavasana shape, maybe roll to one side, maybe flip over onto your belly, whatever is going to feel good for you this morning. Once you've got your body in a position that you feel is going to be nice and restful and easy on the body, invite some softness in. Soften your breath. Soften your hands and your feet. Soften your knees, the tops of your thighs. Soften your hips, release any gripping that you might be holding in the front of your hips or in your butt, and then let that softness find your belly. Soften your chest and your shoulders. Soften the back of your neck. Soften your jaw, your cheekbones, and the space between your eyes. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel called to do so, gently start to reawaken your body. Invite some gentle movement into your fingers and toes. Maybe rock your head a little side to side, bringing some range of motion back into your cervical spine. And then if it feels good, take that big good morning stretch. Stretch your legs long, stretch your arms up and overhead. Reach nice and long through the fingers, through your toes. Take a nice big giant breath back into your body. Awesome. And then in your own time, in your own way, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Back to Sukhasana if that felt good, but any other seat that suits your body best, anything that allows you to sit up nice and tall. Cool. And then once you found your way there, we're going to take our hands and we're going to flip so that the fingertips are coming into the armpits, and we're going to kind of squeeze those hands into the armpits. And then we're going to make our chicken wing. So we're going to pull the elbows down slightly, just to the point where you feel a little stretch in the wrist, and then lift the elbows up. Pull the elbows down slightly, feel that little squeeze in your wrist, and lift back up. One more just like that. Pull the elbows down, give that little squeeze, and then release. Nice. And then bring your hands right to your heart center. Stack one hand right on top of the other. Close your eyes down or soften your gaze. Take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And then breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And gently lift up through the top of your head. Gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy, happy Tuesday.